Hey guys, Carrick50 here with another video, and this will be the first of my second kind of update video for this year, which is going to be my Legend Rider Ring update. So, like the Rider Memories from Double, the Legend Rider Medals from O's, and the Legend Rider Switches from Forze, for Wizard, Bandai has been releasing Legend Rider Rings of past Kamen Riders, and these are all based designed with the same concept, being that they're designed after the Rider helmets, with most of the ring in silver and translucent eyepiece and a painted gem either between the eyes or on the forehead, which is something that has kind of been with the Rider helmet designs since the beginning and has continued to this day. So, as you can see, I have a lot of these. At the current moment, I have 12 of these, and I will be getting more. But of note is that I'm going to be a little bit pick and choosy. I'm not going to be getting all of the Rider rings, but I'll try to be getting at least one ring for each main Showa and Heisei Rider. So we'll start from the front and then go to the back. So first up is the Ichigo Wizard Ring, or the One Wizard Ring. And this is the ring for the very first rider, called Kamen Rider 1 or Kamen Rider Ichigo, which means number 1. So, we've got the nice pattern, bug-like appearance, with a gold antenna, nice compound red eyes, green painted gem, and kind of a jagged mouthpiece here. So of note is that most Rider rings are constructed in an interesting way. They all share this same oblong bottom, and the top half is made in an interesting way in that for most of these they use two pieces. The first being a clear plastic piece that they paint silver, and the second is a colored plastic piece that's used for the eyes. So I guess I'm gonna, of course, have to move these out of the way. Another shelf with a Wizard driver. So, also note is that one thing notable about the Rider rings is that they work in either mode. So we'll basically alternating between the two modes to show off the rings. I'm gonna switch it on though. And so that's the sound you're going to be hearing with just about all of these rings. And of note is that, one thing of note is that with the Showa Rider rings, you only hear that sound after the name. With Heisei Rider rings, you get a little bit more. So next up is the Ryuki Wizard Ring. So you have Ryuki's helmet design, and they did, of course, pay attention to give it the slitted look, like a knight's visor, but you still have segmented red eyes underneath it. And you have a painted red forehead gem up here, as well as his dragon head crest up top. So then see you get an extra sound before that last sound with the Heisei rider rings. So for Ryuki, you get the sound of when he closes his visor with a card in it. Next up is the Den-O Wizard Ring for sword form. Something of note is that with the rider rings, not only are they releasing different riders, but they are also releasing forms for the different riders. So for the Den-O ring, I have the sword form ring, that being his main form. And so, well, I said that most of the rider rings are constructed so that it's a clear piece with a colored eyepiece. Because the eyepieces of Den-O sword form are so big, they just used one single clear red piece and then painted it with silver and a bit of green here. They still have the nice compound eyes. So for that one, you get the standby tune for Den-O sword form. Although this does come as a little bit of a problem with the later rings, as there has been at least one more Den-O ring released, and they all have the sword form jingle. And that's just because the sound for his base form transformation. Next is the Decayed Wizard Ring. So you have the different slats representing cards on his face, and with this part up here painted in gold. Of course, with his green eyes, which are again nicely segmented. So for that one, you get his belt's standby sound, and one thing you'll notice is that unlike Wizard's magic rings, which are all orange in color, or at least in the color of the light, the rider ring gets special treatment in that for each of them, the light inside matches up with the color of the eyes, which is a nice touch. It's a nice touch that I'll explain later in, kind of one of the reasons why I'm collecting these. Oh, actually, I kind of missed one. I was trying to kind of go in chronological order, and I missed this one. This one isn't exactly a rider, but it is in the same category as rider rings. This is the Momotaros Wizard Ring. Of course, Momotaros being one of Den-O's partner Imagine. So for this one, you have the nice details. A little bit of kind of tattoos marked on him. A couple of horns. Some fangs. And an actual set of teeth down this mouth section. And while the clear piece is black, that certainly isn't the color of the light. So, for this one, though it's Momotaros, it says Imagine, meaning that there are likely going to be rings for Den-O's other Imagine, and maybe a couple of the evil Imagine. And you also see that the light inside was red. And for rings like this, you get a unique voiceless summon sound. So next up is the Double Wizard Ring. And one of the things about Double is that because, for Double, you don't need to get too many rings because this head design can represent any of his base 9 forms. Because the color changes for those base 9 forms using his first 6 memories. They all have the same head design. So we have this jagged pattern all throughout in several layers. You have segmented red eyes, and then you have his W crest with a diamond-like gem here, plus a line running through the center to divide up the 2 halves. So first with the sound of inserting memories into his driver, and then the standby sound, and then the rider, rider, rider. Next up is the Ozwood ring for Tatoba combo. So this is the Taka head design with a kind of wing pattern, since Taka means hawk and it's a bird. Then the diamond-shaped forehead gem, and the green compound eyes. So for those, you get the scanning sound for 3 mils, and then the confirmation sound, then the other sound. And the next few are quite similar. So first up among these is the Forza Wizard ring for base state. So you've got the basic rocket ship shape with the shuttle wing fins on the sides, green forehead gem, the antenna, and the orange eyes, which are basically the same color that's most commonly used for the magic rings. I'm just gonna do that again. So you get the 3, 2, 1 countdown and the lever sound. And that's not the only Forza ring I have right now. Next up is the Forza Wizard ring for Elect State. Now this is what's called an original color version. Basically, certain rider forms will, kind of randomly have a version where they're, instead of being painted silver, painted in whatever that form's main color is. So for Elect State, you have it mostly painted gold, with nice compound blue eyes, lightning pattern down it, the pantograph antenna on the sides, and the blue forehead gem. You also have a kind of a tan color for the back piece and the ring part, to kind of match up with the gold color. So you can see it shares the same sound with the base state ring. Next is the Forza Fire State ring. Once again, this is an original color version. So this has a nice metallic red to it, with the antenna on sides as well as the cord connecting them down here, and a red back piece and ring part. Now, a couple of notes is that some rings are not released in KTOR Gadgetbond form and are actually released with Gunbaride paraphernalia, basically with Gunbaride stuff. So the Elixir ring was released with a set called the Shabadui Master Box, which is basically a card deck and 5 special Gunbaride cards only found in that set. And so this was an included bonus. And then the Fire State ring was included with the official Pocket File 1, which is basically a small pocket-sized card binder. Next up is the Meteor Fusion State ring. Although, as a little bit of a confession, this isn't what I actually wanted. Basically, I tried to order the base state ring, and the person I ordered it from instead sent me this ring, the Meteor Fusion ring, and I couldn't. I tried to contact the seller, the person didn't reply, so I just ordered this base state ring here from a different one. But you have, this different design to it, which is the same design as the Cosmic State face. So this is, just the same mold as the Cosmic State ring, which is actually one of the first rings released, except with a gold forehead gem and translucent yellow eyes. And last but not least is the Meteor Wizard ring. So, like there were medals for secondary riders released in O's, for Wizard, there will be the occasional Legend Rider ring for secondary riders. Although one thing I'll point out when I get to the sound function is that the Meteor ring is a little bit unique. So you've got Meteor's head design with the kind of flying meteor design to it, and you've got the eyes here, which are a slightly purplish color. So yeah, one of the unexpected things is that the Wizard Driver actually recognizes the Meteor Wizard ring as Meteor. And why I say this is surprising is because back in O's, the O scanner, which is what read the medals back then, basically only had sounds for the main Heisei and Showa riders, and so for most other riders, it would say either Kamen Rider or Dark Rider. And so it's kind of surprising to find out that the Meteor Wizard ring, Meteor being a secondary rider, has a unique sound in the Wizard Driver. Unfortunately, it seems like Meteor might be the only one, as so far there has been a Birth Wizard ring released, and it just says Kamen Rider. So it seems that for most secondary riders, they're just going to say Kamen Rider. So, I'll kind of see whether or not I get some of those other secondary rider rings. And so, before I end this off, I'll show at least one of them off with the Wizard Sword Gun, as there is an important thing to note about using it with the Wizard Sword Gun. So yeah, while the Legend Rider rings make the same generic sounds as magic rings in the Wizard Sword Gun, they use the white light instead of the orange light. So that's just something to note. Let's bring that ring back up. So yeah, I didn't think I would really get into these Legend Rider rings, but I honestly like them. I really like how they put effort into, faithfully recreating these helmet designs. And it's actually a nice touch that it has the eyes light up, as something that's kind of been rather common for Kamen Riders is that after they're done transforming, their eyes will flash for a little bit. So it's kind of cool that these rings basically mimic that thing that's kind of become a little bit iconic of riders in recent times. And it is quite nice that for each of these, you do get the proper eye color. Plus, you can get a ring for your favorite rider, or even your favorite rider form. And I definitely like these original color versions, as they spice things up. They change things up a little bit. Like quite nice. And yeah, basically, I probably wouldn't have gotten these other Forza rings if not for the fact that I'm a really big Forza fan. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna try to get at least one ring for each main Heisei and Showa rider. I'm gonna definitely be shooting for these basic silver rings for their base forms. And, we'll kind of see what other rider rings I get. Needless to say, I'm definitely gonna be picky and choosy, and I won't be getting all the rings, but you can definitely expect a few more rider ring updates. For what's worth, if you like a certain rider and you want to get a ring for them, go for it. But like I said with my last video, I think even more importantly with these is that you really do not want to go for the value line. Even if it's a ring that has so far only been released in the value line and not in the main Gachapon line or in Candy Toy form, do not buy from the value line, because once again, you're not going to get lights. And really one of the things that makes these rings most appealing is the light up eyes. So, if you get the value line, you're not really getting the full value. You're not getting the best quality rings you could get. So, just know that. And yeah, none of these are necessary. These are just sounds. They're just a few extra sounds in the Wizard Driver, and they're also a little bit more useful for Gunbaride, because with the current Gunbaride machine setup, you can use rider rings to summon a rider and then have a boosted attack. So stay tuned in the future for more rider ring updates. And for now, please rate, comment, subscribe, and check out my channel. And this is KRX50, riding off.